Before I get into the slide, I want to give you some context of how I've been working with this model. So I most of my career, I'm a coach and I do leadership development, and I use this a lot inside organizations. Over the last 7, 8 years, I've really been committed to bringing, it's called in the United States, marginalized communities. Um, I've been bringing this work into those communities also. And I will explain why I bring that up a little bit later. But first, the five knowledge centers is to me about the diversity of knowledge, which I think all of you have been talking about this morning. Well, it's morning for me, afternoon, evening for others. So I think this really does speak to the brilliance in all human beings and how the brilliance gets tapped into in different ways. So, real quickly, as you can see, this is a circle with a stick drawing of a human in it. Um, the head is where we access reason. And there's a question attached to each of these knowledge centers. The head is the what needs to be done, what do I need to know, what's the data, um, what's the logic. And then the heart is the who, and that's where we access love and affection. Who am I supposed to be with this human being? And who is this human being in front of me? The gut is intuition. I like to say it's our internal compass. The gut is always telling us where to go next. So the question that's asked there is where. The groin is where passion and creativity resides, and that's the why. Why is this important? Why must I be a stand for this? And then the last knowledge center is the hands, and I'd like to say that that's the um, well, I don't say this. The philosopher Kant said that the hands are the visible part of the brain. It's also the how. How am I going to make this happen? Um, so those are the five knowledge centers. And then the circle around it, as you can see, is nature. Nature is giving us all this information that we integrate. So, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the work that I do is inside organizations. And in organizations, and I would say in Western culture in general, a lot of emphasis is on the head and the hands. And I don't want to marginalize that. That's important. But when it's just that, that's when dysfunction, I believe, because we're not working with the whole. Um, and ironically, and I don't have empirical knowledge, but I just know it from experience. When I work, by the way, the marginalized communities that I mostly work in are communities. It's once again here in the United States called system impacted communities. So people that are incarcerated, um, people that have experienced either violence that they've perpetrated or violence that has been perpetrated on them. Those are the major communities that I work with. And what I've noticed through working with them, number one, um, I'm very much the student, and I think it was you, Patty, that mentioned that who's the student and who's the teacher. I'm very much the student when I come in because I work with amazing people that have lived lives that I can only admire and bow to. Um, and what I've also noticed in those communities, they have a lot of heart, gut, and passion knowledge. So one of my visions is to bring those communities into organizations so they can teach us how to better access those knowledge centers. Um, And once again, I just want to close on a note of gratitude that I'm getting the opportunity to be with all of you today. Thank you.